Sid, we're back again this week. We were in the middle of the week. This is our Wednesday
Check,
countdown,
check,
and we're
check.
gonna break it down to the funky sound backed up by James Brown. And what I tell you, we got some great things going on. A big games this week, just like we had last week. And we're gonna wrap it up real good for you tonight. We're gonna talk about some of the games that are going on in Central Florida area. Then we're gonna give you our big three. Then we're gonna pick because somebody did good last week and somebody did bad. But I'm gonna win next week, as you can see. I'm just going ahead and call like I see it. And then we're going to go ahead and get that top 10, our new top 10 of the week going into this game coming up this Friday. But like you said, I'm Coach Low for Life, a.k.a. the Camp King, and I can't do it unless I got my man with the plan right beside me. Coach Katt, what's going on?
Man, you know what it is. Excited for another big week of high school football here in Central Florida. But we're not gonna stray around. Let's get straight into it, my guy. You hear me?
Well, right. I want to get into it because I know a lot of people's on the Sports Club Florida, and we're doing it, and they're talking about it, and the platform has been set, not just for our athletes, for our Central Florida area, and everybody want a shout out. So let's go ahead and let people know what's going on, who have a game, where it's at, and then we'll go ahead and get into the big three.
All right. Here are our games from around Central Florida this week. Apopka takes on Westport. TFA will be taking on Melbourne Central Catholic. Edgewater will be taking on Jones. D-Land takes on Appleton County. Ocoee plays Dr. Phillips. Seminole will be playing Monarch. Lake Mary has a bye this weekend. Bishop Moore will be playing Mount Dora. Osceola will be playing a rival in St. Cloud. Again, Dr. Phillips plays Ocoee. West Orange plays Boone this week. Spruce Creek plays Camden County. University plays Deltona. Wekiva plays Eustis. Evans plays Poinciana. Winter Park plays Lake Nona. And last but not least, Cocoa will be taking on Heritage. Okay? There are your games this week here in Central Florida. All right, now let's get to the top three games, the big three games of the week. Which game are we kicking off with first?
Well, you know what? I just did the Coach's Corner, Katt, and we talked to one of the top young DBs in Key Money. And then we talked to University of Pittsburgh commit Josh. And then we talked to the man, the linebacker, the machine, the 18-wheeler, all gas, no brakes, Mike McClendon, 200 tackles last year. So let's go ahead and get into it. Because you know you got Stanley Anderson over there at quarterback at Dr. Phillip. So we got some boys. So let's get into it. Let's knock it out. Let's hit them with the Dr. Phillip Panthers and the Old Court Knights will clash. And this is going to be a defensive battle again because both defenses are stingy. Katt, what's your thoughts?
Okay, again, as we said, this is going to be a defensive battle. Dr. Phillips, one of the top defenses in the area. Last week, they took on Apopka and only let them score 3 points, which was actually a big time shocker. Lies. We knew it was going to be a defensive game. We didn't think that it was going to be over 10 points scored per team, and it was actually only 9 points scored altogether. But both of these teams are defensive-minded teams, but the Ocoee team has a superstar on the other side, in Mr. Michael McClendon, and let me tell you, he is a tackle machine. We actually created a badge, an R&R Top 100 badge for players just like him, and he's called a fear monger. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
This is someone that you have to locate and understand where they're lining up on every single play. And this kid is versatile. He's going to do exactly that. Line up at middle linebacker. He's going to line up outside. He's going to come at you at all different angles. And in the first 2 games of the season alone, he racked up 42 tackles. That's 21 tackles a game. I did not get a chance to catch up and see how many tackles he had last week, but I
Well,
guarantee the boy is going to have around the same number. What do you think about this game, coach?
Well, that is, like I said, man, I just had an opportunity talking to three of the young men over there at Core Nights, and they all gave a lot of praise to the team itself, the team unity, the team camaraderie, and then I had the opportunity to hear them talk about their head coach, Coach Buck, and that who's doing a great job, and then their defensive coordinator, Mike McClendon, and their defensive back specialist, Rico Johnson. So they got some coaches over there. So I think it's gonna be a good battle on coaches and how the coach had developed the guys. And just to let you know, Mike McClendon did have 25 tackles in the last week game. So yeah, add that on to the 40 some tackle,
So
and there
he
you
had
go.
42 the first 2 weeks and then added on an additional 25. Good Lord. The boy told me he was aiming for 200 tackles in a year, and
Well,
he's on pace.
that number has rised up. It was 202 last year. He's up to 300 now, but he only talk about that. Mike McClendon only talk about the team itself. I mean, he
Yes,
don't he
sir.
don't care about the accolades or whatever. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. So that's one big thing they'll talk about the old Nice in. But then you flip on the other side, we had the offensive coordinator Tyrone Sapp that was on the show last week, and he talked about just putting Stanley Anderson in the right position, do what he tells him to do, get it done, and trust that he's gonna lead them Panthers down the field. As you know, on the first drive, Stanley Anderson did lead them Panthers down the field on one of the most stingiest defense in the state. Apoco Blue Darters, one of the best defense that produced some of the best D tackles in the country. And all said and done in the first round draft pick when all said. But when you're tied up together, I'm going to put in the hands of the coaches. I think you got a state champ coach, is Rodney Wells, and then you slide over there with a former NFL player, Coach Buck Gurley. Man, that's gonna be a coach's battle, to my opinion. The players gonna play, but the coaches gonna coach.
So I will say this: last week's game, Dr. Phillips and the Popka game, it did have a huge delay in it, which did take away from the momentum that both teams had in that first half. Um, so those numbers are a little bit skewed. Plus, you got to remember the terrain was extremely wet and oversaturated. So this game, hopefully, the weather holds up, and we should be seeing some more points on the board. But I'm not gonna lie, I think that the points will be going the other way with a Coe putting up points. Um, how do you feel? Which offense are you betting your money on this weekend?
Well, I definitely feel like Dr. Phil, the offense, is a little bit more strong, a little more potent because of Stanley Anderson. He can know he got the hand, he got the feet, he got the size, and he really can throw that ball. So they got some key guy that can catch. They got a wide receiver that's sitting about 6'3", 6'4" out there. So and with Tyrone Sapp leading the trenches all the way with that line blocking, I think all. I mean, this is gonna, like I say, it's gonna be a defensive battle, but offense wise, I got to give Dr. Phil the edge.
I gotta check myself because Dr. Phillips did put up 54 points just the week before. So this is an offense that can score, can put up points. Um, we're gonna flip around. I'm gonna flip around on that choice before we make that decision. But let's go on to the next game. The next game, which game do we have on the board, Tremaine?
All right, give me just 2 seconds, real
Boone
quick.
versus West Orange. Coach, go ahead and break them down.
Well, one thing I tell you, man, every year, somehow with the record of Boone, well, let me rephrase that. Boone's schedule somehow always match up perfect for them get a chance to slide in the playoff. For years and years and years, they always somehow ran against the doggone Dr. Philip Panthers, and Dr. Philip, of course, ended up beating them every time in the playoff. And Boone just somehow find a way. Coach Andy's over there doing an amazing job. He produced a lot of great athletes. But this year, not so great because he did lose some key guys and that transfer out. The quarterback stands strong with his son playing that quarterback over there, but they have a receiver, and he does some great things. And Isaiah Mizell, he's doing some great things at wide receiver. He can make a play at any time. So that's one thing that scares me about the Boone Braves. They find a way to get in the end zone when you're allowed to play them. But on the flip side of it is, you look on the other side, you do have to battle against the West Orange because they do have a top cornerback that committed to Ball State and Donovan Lanier. I mean, he's sitting there probably like 6'1", run like a 4.4 40, and he can stretch the field, and he's very physical too. So right then and there, that's a matchup that's definitely gonna make some highlights, and whether it's gonna be a lockdown performance on Lanier or it's gonna be a up top ATC air traffic control with Isaiah Mizell. So that's my thoughts on these two games there. It's gonna be one way or another, either with Isaiah or Lanier. Now, don't forget, they do have another dynamite player at West Orange, Brian Dillard. I mean, you'll never know what he's going to do. They bring a young quarterback in at West Orange, AJ Chung, who went 6 for 7 last week and throwing the ball. So they got some weapons. They mix up pretty good at West Orange. West Orange got an edge on him, to my opinion.
I'll concur. But when I say that Isaiah Mizell is no slouch, he is someone that you have to understand where they're lining up. He can score in the blink of an eye. So please minimize your situations defense, DBs. Make sure that you're on your P's and Q's because he is coming for blood. You hear me? But on the other side, Mr. Chung, AJ Chung, one of our R&R Top 100 alumni since he was 6, 7 years old. This young man has grown exponentially over the last couple of years. He has been one of the top passers in youth football for the last 5, 6 years, and he has transitioned into high school football seamlessly. I'm excited to see how this young man is going to do over the next couple of years. Mr. Donovan Lanier, another R&R kid, he used to play for West Orange Warriors, Junior Warriors. He was an athlete who can do it all, and to see him actually hone in on his skills at cornerback is fundamental. It's extraordinary to me. So I'm just happy that I get to see my kids out there doing big things immediately. But I'm gonna have to go with West Orange on this one. You hear me?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, when you got guys that's committed against colleges, you got to kind of like just look at that and know that they're gonna make a play. We looked at last week with the Jones versus Evans. We've seen how no matter what, Vernell Brown Jr. found a way to get in that end zone. They're gonna make a
Yeah.
play. Isaiah Mizell is committed to Arizona right now. But at the same time, here come Notre Dame and other school offer him because they know he's a guy that can make a play. Donovan Lanier is committed right now to Ball State, but no one is catching the ball on him. They're not even throwing his way. So that lets you know that he's doing what he's supposed to do. And with a lot of other young guys at West Orange making some great plays. So I'm looking forward to that game also. And I'm glad it's another one of our games of the week.
Hello. All right. We're going on to our third and final game of the week, but it is surely not the least. The biggest game around every year, I would say, Edgewater versus Jones. We're talking about the Eagles versus the Tigers. The saying that Eagles don't fly in the jungle is coined from this matchup. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Coach, who do you like in this one? Talk about it. Break them down a little bit.
Well, one thing you do got to look at both of these games right here. Both of these games have went through different elements, right? For us as raining delays, or can't practice, or have to wait and just do more film study, or they moving games to different days. Like the Jones and Evans game will move to a Saturday. The Edgewater and Jones game moved to a Saturday. That changed the whole dynamic of a practice schedule. So imagine having a missed practice or another rained out day, then you practice this day, you got an extra day. So it can change the whole complex of a game because your system and your preparation has definitely changed. But when you got dogs on both sides of the ball, hey, they know how to hopefully they know how to adjust when all said and done. Because this game right here is gonna be on the field because not only it's just two powerhouse teams, there are also two teams that have been to the state championship before, have not won a state championship, hungry to win a state championship. You got Elijah Williams, one of the top coaches came to Jones in history. You got Coach Duke that know how to bounce back after a loss to TFA, which now we have recognized that TFA is not a private school. They are a private school on steroids. No if and buts about it. It's just what it is. And I'm not even talking about steroid with the players. I'm talking about everything: the coach, the players, the preparation, and the way they do things all through Christ. It's amazing. But hey, somebody got to win, somebody got to lose, and this game right here gonna shake up the top 10 for us. If anything possible, and it also gonna prove a point to Central Florida that at any given Saturday you can be beat. We seen how close it was with Evans and Jones. Evans definitely came in with a vengeance and shocked the world, but just could not finish. Edgewater had an opportunity to take down the mighty TFA, did not finish. But at the same time, it's time for them to match up again. It became a rivalry. Keep in mind, Jones High, the Tiger, knocked off Edgewater last year in the playoff, but they beat them in the regular season. Regular season is irrelevant. It's all about the playoff. So with that being said, break down the top players. You got to look at it. So I'm gonna let you give me your breakdown, and I'm gonna come back down and break down the top players, and we'll move it on.
So I will say this. It is never about the situation. It's always about how you respond. And Edgewater has done that. Over the last two games, they've scored over, I want to say 99 points to 6 in two games. All right. Now we've just said that in the past week or so that teams haven't been able to play because of weather and so forth, whatever, right? They actually made up a game on Tuesday and then turned around and played another game on Friday. Okay. And within the last week, they've scored 99 points. Let that marinate for you real quick. 99 points to 6. Edgewater is on a tear right now. To be honest, I wouldn't want to be in front of them at all. Jones' last game was versus Evans, which they did struggle. They did find a way to get out of there with a W, but at halftime they were down 14-7. Okay, and without a turnover, a big time turnover forced by another freshman, Mr. Pryor, Demetrius Pryor. He played for West Orlando Jazz last year. Everybody knows him as Michi. Pick 6. Lord knows where that game would have ended up. Okay, so Edgewater is a team that is disciplined, I don't see turning over the ball as that much. And they're going to score points. So Jones' offense has to be ready to score. I don't know which Jones is going to show up. Is it the Jones versus Evans, or is it the Jones versus the Seminoles that put up 49 points with ease? It really
Hey,
just depends which Jones shows up.
well, I definitely concur. I like how you said that word, concur. I like how you. I definitely concur with that, hands down. Who's going to show up at this game here? And these two coaches, some of the best in the business, they're going to battle each other left and right. They're going to prepare the preparation, but the matchup itself, you know what I mean? I look at it as a good matchup because you do
Historic.
have some real key guys on the offense side of the ball. But on the defense side of the ball, it goes to show that each team, they'll give up a couple of some points. And same just like Evan put up 20, 21 points maybe, and,
21.
and 21 point, and TFA putting up 28 points. So when all said and done, they're getting points. They're allowing points on both sides of the ball. So for me, who made the most mistakes might be the one that lose this game right here. Especially when you got playmakers all over the field. Now, once again, we got a FIU Tyson Carter. We have a Boston College Samad Fleming. We got Florida Gator Bernard Brown. We got a 3-4 star Larry Miles. I got a Miami commit Duran Coleman. I got a Carter Emmanuel. Got about 15 offers, power forward. I mean, I'm just naming a few. So, man, you want to go to a game? That's the game to go to.
So the issue for me during that Evans game that we seen for Jones was the line didn't hold up for Darion. I don't care how many stars you have. If your line don't hold up, it don't mean nothing. So it really just again depends who shows up. Will the defensive line for Edgewater actually pin their ears back and be on go all game?
Right,
Uh,
right.
am I spoiling the recipe? I'm
Right,
not sure.
right.
But at the end of the day, there are some concerns for both teams. But right now, I'll give you this. Where is the game being played? Last year was at Edgewater,
Yes,
correct?
Campbell
So
World Stadium.
it's at Camping World.
Yes,
So
And they playing on Sunday.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yes,
Saturday. All right. So everybody, if you ain't doing nothing this Saturday, which you
5
probably
o'clock.
are,
5
make
o'clock
sure
p.m.
5 o'clock p.m. you are at Camping World Stadium because it goes down in a major way. The Jones Tigers versus the Edgewater Eagles. Coach Will versus Coach Duke. Hello. We got action.
We got action. Well, listen, guys, as you heard it right there, Coach Katt just broke it down. He gave you the big three for the week. Big three for the week. We broke it down and definitely got to do what we always do.
We got to pick.
We got to do our picks right here. And our first game that we got coming up, we had Dr. Phillip versus Old Court Knights. Katt, I'm taking the mic. What's your pick?
Who you I'm on first.
I took the mic on that. I was scared. Last time I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna roll the dice.
All right. No, what you
Dr.
doing?
Phillips. Oh man, I really just did that. Hey, Mike, don't beat me up. You hear me? I tell you, Mike will beat me up.
Man,
I'm taking Dr. Phillips.
Mr. Right choice.
That one I could flip back and forth. I don't know.
I know. No, listen.
That one's gonna be a tight game. I'm gonna go with Dr. Phillips because we've actually seen them put up over 40 points in a game. Okoye, I haven't seen them score as much as over 30 points. So matter of fact, let me make sure of that. Okoye has scored. Let me just go to it. Oh, I'm lying. Okoye, I'm lying on your name. I'm so sorry, Okoye. Okoye has scored 53 points to 10 versus Olympia, first game out. And then versus Lake Nona, they put up 30 points to 8. But the common factor is that Okoye played Apopka for their preseason game, and Apopka did handle business 0-10. Okay. Of course, the preseason game is a game where you're trying to figure out exactly who you have on your team, etc. And you probably go ahead and let your other guys in the second half. So I'm gonna take that loss with a grain of salt. But I don't know. I might have to flip that one back. Yeah, we gonna come back. We gonna
Mr.
come
Right
back to that
Choice.
Who you got?
Right choice.
I don't even know why y'all even got me on this.
Hey, you
No, don't try to get out now.
Don't do that.
Don't try to get out now. You love Evan. I
Hey.
bet you were ready to vote for Evan Trojans.
Evans not in it, so you ain't obligated to nobody.
I'm going to Okoye. I'll go for Okoye.
Okoye's at home.
I don't know which way they at, but I'll go for Okoye. I like Buck. Buck pretty cool, a good guy. I like the team. I like the kids too as well. So I'm gonna go for Okoye. I got Okoye.
Ooh, well, listen. Here's what I know. When all said and done, offense got to win. Dr. Phillips.
The reason why I chose Dr. Phillips over Okoye was coaching. Coach Wells is someone who's been there before and understands what it is. Coach Buck, I know you've been there personally, but as far as leading a group of young men, I'm not sure if he has been coaching. I'm not sure how long he's been coaching, but we do know that Wells is a state champion. All right, so that's something you can't take away from him ever. Hello. All right, let's go on to the next game. That'll be West Orange versus Boone. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one. I'm gonna go with West Orange on this one. With the new kid on the block, Mr. AJ Chung, whipping around the rock. Who you got, Coach?
I'm right there with you, West Orange. It wasn't a question for me.
Orange.
I had to pass the torch over to Mr. Right Choice.
I'm going to West Orange with AJ with Chung.
Okay,
let's do it.
And there it is. All right, on to the last game, but definitely not the least. Jones Tigers versus Edgewater Eagles. One of the biggest games around, if not the biggest game in the city. Who do you have? Do the Eagles fly high, or do the Eagles get trapped in the jungle?
Well, in my opinion, the Eagles.
Wait. Where is it?
Camping World Stadium.
Oh, it's Camping World. Golly. That's even. That's even playing field and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Hey, listen. I like the Big E. They're hungry. They got some boys gonna play. They got something to prove. Hey, and you got one number one maybe a little lower rank, or what the case might be. It always be a fight. It always be a battle. I'm going Eagles.
It's gonna go Eagles. I'm going Jones Tigers.
Ooh.
I think that the Tigers will prevail. I think that the right Tigers will actually show up to the gate. And Eagles don't fly in the jungle, baby.
Eagles don't fly in the jungle. All right. Mr. Right Choice. You seen them live. You seen them Tigers live. What you got?
I'm going Edgewater.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Edgewater, y'all. Edgewater.
So you heard it right there.
There it is.
We got to shake up this top 10 because I'm getting tired of everybody keep on talking about why Jones been at the top.
Hey, it be like that.
But with that being said, I'm pull y'all two up. Let's go over the top. Let's go over our top 10 that everybody been talking about.
All right, here is our top 10. At number 10, University. At number 9, Dr. Phillips. At number 8, Spruce Creek. At number 7, Bishop Moore. At number 6, Seminole. At number 5, Edgewater. At number 4, Lake Mary. At number 3, TFA. At number 2, Cocoa Tigers. And number 1, the Jones Tigers.
Yeah, I want to say, everybody kept on talking about on this platform when we posted. I want everybody to know this is opinion based, you guys. It's no different than NFL.com or ESPN. Everybody is all opinion based. The one thing I definitely want to say, and it don't make sense. Jones was we had Jones number 1 after they beat Seminole. Correct, you guys?
Yes.
And they have not lost. And people keep on saying, how you got Jones at the top? Well, regardless of the situation, they have been winning. They haven't lost. Then people want to say, why Coco won number 1? Coco's way better than won championships, but we had Jones number 1. Coco lost to IMG. Yes, it is IMG, but they still got a loss in their column.
Hey, we left Coco exactly where they are because now one of y'all teams up underneath Coco would have beaten the IMG either. So I don't care what y'all talk about. Coco stays right where they at. They got beat by a really good IMG team, and it is what it is.
It's gonna get shook up this weekend. Way this the week. Edgewater plays Jones. That's gonna shake up this top 10 regardless.
Yes, sir. Edgewater moved up in the rankings because they just played 2 teams in a week, and beat them to sleep. To be honest, so they did move up from 9. Dr. Phillips, you guys did move down in the rankings because Edgewater moved up. That's just how it runs. Okay, all of y'all down there did.
Quick
and
question real quick.
University did move on to the rankings this weekend.
Okay, go ahead. Y'all too. How y'all feeling about this TFA, man? They've been rising, and I keep on seeing the comments about y'all sleeping on TFA. Don't forget it. Don't forget about TFA. Even though we've been moving them up, but the noise about TFA been crazy. What y'all think about this?
So the buzz. I mean, do you believe in the hype? Do you believe the hype?
So
a lot of people buy
in. Coach Lowe's seen him in person.
Yeah. Well, here's why I believe in the hype, because the way the preparation and what they have on that field and the coaching staff alone, I got to believe in the hype. Keep in mind, you have Chad Matterby coming over from Lake Minneota. Lake Minneota will average almost 50, 60 points a game because his old line was so amazing. I want y'all to keep that in mind. And he brought over with him 2 of the best offensive lines in the country. You got a 4-star at Chaz Barkley, and you got Noel Devine. So, that speaks volume alone. Then you bring in one of the best quarterbacks that played at UCF, Stephen Moffitt himself. He was at Winter Park over years. He go to Leesburg and change the whole game, a whole culture around Leesburg. Bring that culture over here to TFA. Now I got another offensive guru. But his head coach, Jeff Conaway, was a winners coaching from up north. They brought him from up north to come down south to coach. Down south, normally go to the snow to get paid. He came down here to TFA to coach. You got to think about what he did. Then they got smart. They even got smarter. Let me go ahead and bring Chris Mitchell, who run the 24K 707 national ranked team. They bring him in. Then you go get Lee Bennett, right, who played in the league as a defensive coach. And then, to my opinion, maybe I'm bragging because I coach and train him. Mitchell Academy, Aaron Jones, who produced right now. He got 3 boys in the NFL. And then you bring in how many freshman All-American, Unarmed Acre All-American, and FBU All-American, John Pierre, Noah Maddox, and then you have Chance Barkley, and you have the middle school player of the year, Jalen Powell. And then you got these receivers out from Leesburg. Oh my gosh. That's the Tompkins kid. And then, you got a kid that came in for West Virginia who just committed to University of North Carolina, Daniel. He from Virginia, Pennsylvania. He just committed. So when you put it all together, is that a private school or is that another St. Thomas Aquinas?
So another question I got.
Believe the
Another,
hype.
another
They call it Orlando Aquinas. That's
There,
what it's been
Aquinas,
coined.
Aquinas. There we go. Aquinas,
Orlando Aquinas.
okay.
Aquinas.
You hear
So
me?
another question. I
No,
know I
I'm
talked
saying
to you about it.
Orlando Aquinas.
Another question I got for you guys. Me and Coach Lowe talked
Go ahead.
about it. Do you feel like there's a better advantage of practicing in the morning? And the reason TFA practice in the morning at 5:30. I think on this top 10, who else practice in the morning on this top 10?
No one. You can't. You cannot practice in the morning. First, first of all, you got to remember the dynamic what we're talking about here. Maybe. I'm sorry. Back that up. Back that up.
Blake,
Bishop Moore. Bishop Moore.
Bishop
Bishop Moore practice in the
Moore.
morning. See, a private school
Okay.
can get it. A private school can do it. They're gonna make sure they get there, and these are the type of kids and their parents that's going to get there. You follow me? My mom, my dad would
Yes.
drop me off, or I'm driving already in a car, or my friend who drives
Yes.
this Range Rover gonna pick me up, or I got a bus coming through to pick me up. They're gonna make it to practice. No ifs and about it. My daughter played at Lake Island Prep. They practiced at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Daddy took her to practice, but if you talking about getting everybody to come to school at Evans, I just talked to Coach Odom. I said, hey, Coach, you think y'all can practice in the morning? Y'all already on the range delay today. He said, we practice in the morning with nobody going to be here. Not even the coach might not get up that damn early.
But the rain has been bad. The rain has been
Ah.
so the rain has been really bad
Hey,
this year.
Let me tell you, was it a couple years ago
Oh,
we ended up scratching 2 games from the season because
It
of
did.
no,
Hurricane.
it was the
Hurricane.
hurricane. Like, bruh, that's just how it happens
There you
here.
go.
Sometimes you might miss out on 2, you might miss out on 3 games
Yeah.
in the
UCF?
season, and that's just what it is.
UCF practice in the morning.
Yeah, but that's
You're
college.
talking about a
They
college.
live there.
Every
They live
college
there.
practices in the morning.
And at nighttime. What are you talking about?
Like, to practice in the morning, you have to have a certain type of individual. You have to
Exactly.
have a certain type of individual,
And the
someone who's
resources, and
committed,
the right-
blah blah
and the
blah.
right-
Listen to me.
and the right
when
resources.
you're so the difference between the private school and the public school,
Public
the main thing
It's the
is
main
that
thing.
I paid for this. So if you tell me I gotta be here early in the morning, guess what? I paid for this already. It's paid for already. So I gotta show up. I am invested. But when you're talking about public school, I don't have to be there. Not that early. You get what I'm saying? And to be honest, nowadays it's just extremely hard for you to hold young men accountable to those standards. I just don't see I don't see young men showing up to the school at 5:30 in the morning unless it's a private school.
Exactly. But
I just don't know.
it's just what it is.
I don't know
But-
any that's that committed.
Yeah. Well, I did want to go back and break down my thoughts on the top 10 and how we moved this week, guys. And I think we moved pretty well. I mean, I look at a lot of other rankings out there, and it's all based on opinion, what we think. One thing I love about Coach Katt and Mr. Right Choice, we base it on more than just what's going on in the season. If you ever hear us talk here on Sports Club Florida, what we're talking about? The coaches, the history, the rivalry, the discipline, the character, the athletes, the talent, the element. We talk about everything. We take all that and put that in perspective, and there we have the top 10. University, 3-0 right now, sitting at 3-0 University, and they putting up points. A pop could drop, not put up no points. They struggling on offense. You're not going to win like that all year. We already know that. University put up 31 points, 49 points, 34 points, and all is said and done. Then you look at Dr. Phillip, who went over there and did beat a Parker after hour and 45 delay, scored on the first drive. Now they're being conservative. Spruce Creek still beating team. Yeah, the team put 30 points on them, but they put 49 on them. Bishop Moore is still in the private school. What I like about Bishop Moore, they will play some top teams, but they do play more private school team than a TFA. TFA gonna go play a lot of the big dogs. Similar itself did go battle over there at Lyman High School, but I'm not trying to be funny. Lyman is a team that you might want to play on your homecoming. They beat them 43-13 when all said and done.
They jerseys fire though. They
Yes, I'm
jerseys.
just, but I got to give props to Seb Kroom over there who made a transition from Sanford Seminole to a lineman. He stood up and did his thing. I give props to the young brother right there. Edgewater gonna fight to all said and done. Lake Mary, man, no one thought they're gonna even get close to beating Lakeland. I want people to understand, and we talked about that game last week. Lake Mary chose to go for 2. It was 12 o'clock at night. Why? What's the big deal? Go for 2, and the guy was wide open.
Home.
Hey, and go home. They play it again. My money's on Lake Mary. TFA went down and played Treasure Coast. It was staying up 42 to 7 first half. So what are you talking about? They are not. They are a private school with all the gorillas over there. And then Coco itself played the mighty IMG. They had a good run for the first half. The rest of the game, they went downhill. So, hey, but did they hang in there? Yes. Anybody else on the schedule? It might be 40-0 first half. Let's talk about Joan Tigers. They are number 1. They undefeated. They came back. They beat Evans, who is very stingy on defense, in a crazy environment with a 2-hour delay in the Evan Trojan house. Jones High, our top 10 for the week. And you heard it right here from Coach Lowe for Life, a.k.a. the Camp King Sports Club, Florida.
And I want to say this one thing too that people don't really realize. We talk to every single team in the county and on the Polk County, so we have inside perspective of every coach basically that's on this list right here. We talked to every coach, and we talked about most of all their players through media day. Coach Lowe looking like he forgot he did that, and Katt. It was a long day.
I was there.
No, I was tired. I was 27 interviews. 27 interviews.
Oh, you were counting them. I was having fun.
He
No, I didn't know.
He counted after the
I was
fact.
tired. I didn't know I did that many interviews. 20. I said, "Oh my!" I mean, I was having fun too, but
interviews.
that's a lot of doggone interviews and all
That is
said
a lot
and
of
done.
interviews.
That's a lot
That
of
is a
interviews.
lot. I can't tell you how many I did that day. Boy, you
Well,
got butter from the duck that day. You hear me?
But they got- Hey, right quick, guys. I want to. This is the one of them. What you call it? Game changer. Can I do a game changer question right quick?
What is that?
Go ahead.
Since your camera look good.
Ooh,
we clean now.
game changer question. Wednesday night hump day wind down.
Wednesday.
Deion Sanders'
Lord
son
Jesus.
hurt his forearm.
Broke his forearm.
Broke his forearm. Okay. They go to the hospital. They're glad everything okay. But do we really got to take a picture with him and post up because he had surgery on his forearm? When I don't see running back get a Joe Diamond, Joe Montana. One of them had a whole disco knee was
It's
all out of pack.
It's
I
Deion.
gotta. What are we doing?
It's Deion.
What are we doing?
He's social media driven.
So once
on.
again, okay. That's one.
So hold on.
Come on.
Who broke their arm?
Shiloh.
Shador?
No,
Shiloh,
boy.
Shiloh.
If Shador broke it be on everywhere right
I was
now.
about-
It's Shiloh.
All right. So what I thought you were trying to say was that Shador broke his arm and
Nah,
whatever,
bro, we
and that's
wanna-
why he left early. I
wanna
want
be
to
on
talk
live.
about that.
Oh, he
Who wanna
left
be on
early.
live
Kyle.
now?
that.
Yeah, let's talk. Okay. Then so we already know
Let's
that's
talk
just
about
social
that.
media. Yeah, I mean, this man here lead 2 minutes when the game end. You walking in the hallway with security guards and bodyguard and a camera.
They said he had a concussion.
They say that he had a concussion.
Oh, so he's
That's
not gonna
what-
play this week. He got a concussion. He can't play this week. He playing this week?
I ain't heard nothing about he ain't playing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Exactly. My point exactly. But it's just what are we doing? Okay. Travis Hunter leaving during halftime and blow a kiss to his girlfriend.
Well, he had 100
Y'all
some
look-
yards.
Y'all losing, but you're losing.
I don't know. He loves his girlfriend.
It's
It's Colorado.
nowadays.
Look, we
I-
microscope.
I get you.
Colorado's under a microscope every single thing they do. I'm pretty sure he ain't the only one that blowing kisses when they getting beat 50-0.
All right.
I'm pretty
So
sure he's not.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
athletes are not the same as they
Time,
used to be.
times
Okay.
have changed.
Times have changed because first of all, you had back in the day, you had people there because they love the game. Right now, I feel that the game has turned into Moneyball. It's about
There it
publicity.
is. Money
It's
ball.
about it's about a lot of different other things. And when your mind is elsewhere, when it's not on the field 24/7 because you have so many distractions from outside of the field, by all means, you're a lot more susceptible to those
Now,
outside distractions.
so
So go ahead.
I want to say this. Somebody brought this up to my attention yesterday about the difference between when we grew up and Coach Lowe grew up. That we had more OGs, and what I mean by
Mm-mm.
that, we had grandparents and grandmas that was older, 50, 60, that's been there before. Nowadays, we have kids. They don't have that because their grandparents or whatever they will call, they're 30 years old when they're 15, 16, 17, 18, compared to 60, 70 that has been there and do life, and they can sit down with us and put stuff in perspective. So now you got kids that's looking up to people calling aunties and uncles that's only 10 years older than them, and you expect them to be grown up when they're people that they're looking up to, they're still learning life too as well. So when you look at life right now, you don't have OGs like we had back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, so and that's what I think the biggest problem is. By me being in the school system, that's what I see. I see parents that's like 20 some years old, probably say 32, and their kid is 15, 16, or whatever. And I think that's the biggest issue that I definitely see, and we see it all in football. We definitely see it in youth too as well. I would say we see it in youth because youth takes the level to high school, then high school goes to college. So that's where I definitely see it the most. At what do you guys think about that?
Well, I tell you this right here. Here's my phrase for nowadays with the youth and the parent because they are having them at very young age, and now they're really living their life through a lot of the players and athletes, and now the money has stepped in, so now they want to get the money and all the sport and the social media. Look at me, I'm somebody now. Parents are not raising kids, the kids are raising the parents because the parents don't and not being the like me tough love, they are their friend. And when you get that right there, kids get more, they're soft. Now your kids soft. It's okay, come on, let's go, don't worry about it. How many times you seen a kid, a mom and dad that put him off the field in the middle of the game because they ain't give him the ball, he ain't get in? How many times you gonna see parents jump off the field, want to fight, get
Nice.
into it with the coach right there because he ain't playing the game? All you're doing is making a kid soft. So that changed the game right there because the relationship with a parent and a kid. I mean, I don't see kids cuss out their parent right on the field. I don't see a kid snatch back from their parent right on the field. We did that at home, and boy, it was woo. It was it
Go
was
through
it
a
was
wall.
dangerous. So hey,
Go
look,
through
hey,
a
I got
wall.
I know a kid that was on my FBU team last year, 7th grade, had a tattoo from his wrist to his elbow. A tattoo. I'm like,
A real
boy,
one?
a real one.
That
A
ain't no.
real one.
I had a boy in my class that had veneers in his mouth.
Yeah, right. So the time have changed. But look, hey, listen, to each his own. All we could do now is just pray, push, try to impact, and do what we got to do to help the young men become good young men and have good role models and for the little brothers and sisters and just keep doing what we're doing. And we can't save them all, but we'll save some.
Let's take one at a time, man. One at a time. And one thing I definitely want to do this when we'll try to tap on it better Sunday. I definitely want to make sure that we lock in on these kids on Saturday. It's been fun. A lot of these kids are playing on Saturday as true freshmen. What do you think? What do you think is becoming of that? We've seen these kids from Central Florida playing their first year, even with the portal. What do you guys think? The thoughts on that?
Well, they're playing because they prepared. The ones that play, they're preparing to play. They have been developed by their coach and they've been training like crazy. Our training is huge now. So a lot of kids are getting trained up real good. So when they're lifting weights at the school, they got their own weightlifter trainer. They got a DB trainer. They got a receiver trainer. They got
Yeah, they
speed
do.
trainer. They going to camps. They'll compete against the best of the best. So they're not only getting better at during the season, they are getting good in the off season. And now when they line up, they ready to go. So that's my thought, and that's why they play as a freshman.
I think that it is a combination of things. The biggest thing I would say is information being given to those kids earlier than later. Okay. A lot of those kids, like, I'm gonna just be frank, even from what I'm doing, okay. A lot of my kids are going into my very first group that we ranked. Um, Out of 100 kids, 71 of those kids are in college now. Okay. And the one thing that I'm going to say is that a lot of those kids or their parents did not understand when they actually graduated until I put it in their face. Like, kids right now who's in the first grade understand that they are class of 2036, and now it's a countdown. Before, I didn't know what year I was graduating until I was in high school. You get what
Correct.
I'm saying?
Right.
That's when it started clicking to me that, oh, it's a countdown. Oh, I only have 4 years left. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Right now, these kids are prepared a lot more because, first of all, they understand the time span that they have, and they're setting goals a lot earlier than before. Just being on the rankings alone, you get what I'm saying? Some kids
Right.
are playing a little bit harder. When that camera come out, some kids are playing a little bit harder. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of that stuff trickles over. And I think a lot of these kids who we've given this program to earlier than later are prepared, way more prepared than the kids who never had this experience. You get me? So, I still have a lot more data to collect for you guys and put together. And don't worry, it's all coming out in the book. Keep your head on a swivel. Hello.
Hello.
I
Mr.
want to
Right
say one.
Choice closes up.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say real quick, Coach Lowe said, he said a key thing, and I want to kudos to the parents for investing. Because you got to invest in the off season. What he said, when you want to do Excel speed, you got to spend money. To go to an R&R camp, you got to spend money. To go to a you are athlete or any one of them platforms, you have to spend money. FBU, you got to spend money. Even if it's $25, $50, you got to spend money. So if you believe in your kid and you think your kid is good, is going to be great, and he have his head on his shoulder, and the key thing, he's doing good in the classroom. I always got to remember that. Going to class, the one thing that parents got to make sure, if your kid ain't going to class now and they're just getting his grades just given to him, what do you think is going to happen in college? You think it's going to just be easier? It's not, because now they're on their own. Their coaches on their butt, because now he don't care if he the best player on the team. If his grades ain't right, he can't play.
Cannot.
Can't be skipping class. He can't play. So you parents gotta think about them things there and stay on them more. Because I see it today. Kids slacking, doing all this other stuff, not doing their schoolwork. While other people do their schoolwork, it doesn't translate to college. There's a blueprint already out there, you guys. There's kids that we've seen that's great in high school, that went to college, that has transferred 3 or 4 times to this day. Because you know what? Because their character wasn't right. Character plays a big part. So find them a mentor. Find them a mentor, somebody they can look up to, they can talk to, so they can guide them when they are messing up, they can get back on the right track. So that's the key thing I definitely say for you guys, parents. Find you mentors or find good leaders in the community. And you got Katt right here, you got Coach right here. These are 2 mentors for you guys, and they got people around them that's good too as well. So everybody who's tuned in tonight, I'm gonna say thank you guys again. We're powered by Coach Katt, Coach Lowe, R&R Sport Media, and Coach King, Coach Lowe, Camp King, and XL Speed. We see you guys on show Sunday. Y'all stay tuned. Have a good week. I'm going 3-0. Katt's gonna go like 0-3, and then Coach Lowe probably like 0-2 because we both on the same teams. And we out.
All right. We shall
Hello.
see.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the wheel, they think we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Foot on the gas, I do not care if I crash, long as I stick to the plan.